humble beginning. The parish church and town of Pililla was originally created as a visita or barrio of St. Jerome Parish in Morong and had jurisdiction over the following rancherias at that time of its creation: Monte Tanay, TB, Kisaw, Yakat, Dulo, towards Halahala. When the first missionaries arrived in Pililla in 1572, they named the place Pila Morong, since it was under the administration of Morong, a nearby town. In 1583, the town was separated and became independent from Morong and gained the new name, Pililla, which means small Pila, to distinguish it from Pila, Laguna. It was not too long when the first church was erected by the first missionaries through the help of townspeople using nipa and bamboo as building materials. But Pililla did not have a resident priest until 1590. It was a humble beginning, yet filled with an awe, as the early people of Pililla showed their great desire to encounter God amidst their community. The first church was burned down after some time. The second structure, made of nipa and woods, was again built, but this too was burned down. In 1599, the Superior Gobierno issued a license allowing the construction of a stone church, which was done in the following years. In 1606, Monte Tanay was separated from Pililla and became an independent town. In 1632, the church and the whole town of Pililla was burned, convincing the missionaries and the townspeople to unite in rebuilding the town. The new church. Finally, the missionaries, through the leadership of Reverend Father Francisco de la Asuncion o Cañizares, OFM, decided to put up a stone church in 1670. The church was completed in 1673, and its parish was dedicated to Saint Mary Magdalene. Like most churches in Laguna, the wall of the church was made of adobe. The church was simple and severe in design. It was year 1676 when Halahala was finally separated from Pililla and became an independent town, while in 1679, an unforgettable event happened when the Laguna de Bay rose to such extraordinary height that the parish priest, Reverend Father Nicolas de Santiago, OFM, celebrated the Mass in the choir lobe, and the people of Pililla attended Mass riding in bangkas inside the church. In 1848, Reverend Father Jose de Guadalajara, OFM, renovated all the altars and repaired the church and the adjacent convent. From 1851 to 1937, several priests were assigned as pastors of Pililla from the Franciscans and then from the Society of Columban or the Columbans. In 1938, Father Francis Vernon Douglas, SC, was appointed pastor of Pililla. When Father Douglas arrived, he found out a half-ruined church, a dilapidated presbytery, and a mere handful practicing Catholics. He also noticed that the people of Pililla were poor, their faith even more so. Father Douglas began working with the youth of Pililla, organizing recreational activities and a social action committee. Before long, his labors began to bear fruits. The church was repaired, the presbytery made habitable, and faith was gradually coming back to the people. Much did remain to be done, but Father Douglas was not the man who would do it. When the Japanese invaded the Philippines, shortly after Pearl Harbor, Japanese soldiers arrested Father Douglas on July 24, 1943. He was taken to a church in the neighboring town of Paete in Laguna, was beaten and experienced water torture. On the evening of July 27, 1943, Father Douglas, weak but still alive, was placed in a truck surrounded by Japanese soldiers and driven away. Father Douglas was never seen again and his body was never found. From 1943 to 1958, more priests were assigned to Pililla, but since then, no repair was done. That is when Reverend Father Vicente Maria Reyes took over as new parish priest in 1959. He found the church and convent both in ruins. The worst in ruin was the faith of the people. Restoration of the church and the faith of the people. Another renovation was made after more than 100 years, and this was done during the time of Reverend Father Vicente Maria Reyes through the support of the prominent families of Pililla and the friends in nearby town. But Father Reyes did not focus only on the construction of the church building, but also in awakening the faith of the parishioners that he also found in ruin. More than the absence of any habitable dwelling for the priest and the town, what saddened Father Reyes was the seeming indifference of the townspeople to their faith. The Catholic Church didn't even have a single religious organization, and Sunday Mass goers were practically few. Instead of folding under the seemingly insurmountable odds stacked against him, Father Reyes took Pililla's case as a challenge, one that would last his entire lifetime. The first step Father Reyes took in the rehabilitation of his parish was the organization of various parish groups, which would involve parishioners in enriching and meaningful activities. He began convincing and encouraging the elders and the more active parishioners to form religious organizations. He founded first the Confraternity of Our Lady of Lourdes, and then in 1960, the Catholic Women's League and the Holy Name Society, whose members and officers were inducted by no less than the late Archbishop of Manila, Most Reverend Rufino Cardinal Santos D.D. himself. After making headway in the religious life of his parishioners, Father Reyes turned his attention to the reconstruction and restoration of the parish church. He began the renovation of the church in 1962, and it was completed in 1965, giving the altars a modern look fit for our changing time. However, due to the heavy rains brought about by the Typhoon Yuling, the ceiling was destroyed. Monsignor Reyes once again began raising funds for the renovation. In 1975, another series of renovations was started to fix the damaged ceilings and was finished in 1976. On January 16, 1977, His Eminence Jaime Cardinal Sin, then Archbishop of Manila, blessed the fully restored church. A historical marker was also unveiled on that day by then First Lady Imelda Romualdez Marcos and the Quezon City Mayor Adelina Rodriguez. From the initial three organizations, other groups have merged to contribute to their own share of involvement in the parish. The number of members joining different church organizations started to grow, hence, this became the foundations of a solid Catholic faith in the community. Through the years, these organizations gained considerable following from even the far-flung barrios in Pililla. A stronger body known as the Parish Pastoral Council was also organized to help the parish priest in the planning and implementation of programs and projects, and to serve as the overall coordinating body of the parish. Monsignor Reyes served the parish for 27 years and retired in 1986 because of his age. He had done so much for the church and for the people of Pililla. He died in 1992. With a change of leadership in 1986, the parishioners had to adjust to the new parish priest, Reverend Father Joselito Rosero. Initially, the difficulties were encountered by the new pastor, but were overcome with the assistance of the dedicated lay leaders and parishioners. Father Rosero started working for the parish, and he continued the works initiated by Monsignor Reyes. Through his own initiative and strong leadership, Father Rosero opened the St. Mary Magdalene School in school year 1987 to 1988 to promote Catholic education in the community and to evangelize the next generation of Pililla. Parts of the convent were constructed into classrooms to accommodate the students of St. Mary Magdalene Parochial School. Through the indefatigable leadership of the parish priest assigned in Pililla, many developments were evident both to the church structure and to the faith of the people. More organizations were organized by the parish to strengthen the faith of the people of Pililla and initiated different spiritual formation programs. On July 16, 1990, the Church of St. Mary Magdalene became victim once again to nature's devastation when an earthquake, one of the strongest and deadliest to hit Luzon, damaged the church. The bell tower was the part that was heavily damaged by the earthquake. The people of Pililla once again showed their unity to restore the damaged part of the church. The Parish Finance Council and the Parish Pastoral Council, to ensure the completion of the project, undertook several fundraising activities. Unfortunately, the construction of the bell tower of the church was temporarily stopped and money was deposited in the bank. It was year 1994 when Father Felipe Pedraja, then parish priest of Pililla, changed the name of St. Mary Magdalene School to St. Mary Magdalene Parochial School. Additional classrooms were constructed on the adjacent convent of the church to accommodate the increasing number of students. In 1996, under the administration of Father Pedraja, another chapel was separated from St. Mary Magdalene Parish. Barangay Malaya became a new parish dedicated to St. Gabriel. Another test of faith, the faith that was planted by the former priest assigned in Pililla, started to bear fruits. Parishioners started to have a good relationship with God, and they actively participated during the celebration of the Holy Mass, attended seminars for spiritual growth, and involved in different church activities. The parishioners, however, experienced another test of faith when excavations were held within the parish compound. A new beginning. Upon the arrival of Reverend Father Conegundo Garganta in 2002, he knew that he was faced with enormous tasks because the church was once again in ruins, as well as the faith of the people of Pililla. His first year in the parish was spent on reawakening the spiritual vigor of parishioners and organizing the parish structure through strengthening the different church organizations and the parish pastoral council. There were efforts to improve the physical structure of the church, so another fundraising was done to have enough funds for the renovation of the main altar. In 2004, he started the renovations of the main altar, bringing back the church grandeur by blending the old and new architectural designs. Most Reverend Gabriel V. Reyes, D.D., then Bishop of Antipolo, dedicated the new altar on November 21, 2004, together with the clergy of Antipolo. After the construction and dedication of the new altar, Father Garganta focused on several programs to provide assistance and faith formation to the parishioners. As the parish embraces increased commitment and relevance to present-day challenges, he strengthened the programs in terms of worship, education and evangelization, service, temporalities, vocation, youth, and family life apostolate. This was a new beginning for the people of Pililla and a call to be vigilant and be good stewards of the church at all times. The church regained her beauty when Reverend Father Reynante Tolentino was assigned as new parish priest in 2006. He recommended the closure of St. Mary Magdalene Parochial School due to some administrative problems, and Bishop Reyes approved it. School classrooms were converted into a parish hall to be used for meetings and other activities for different organizations. On September 2006, the roof of the parish was destroyed by Typhoon Milenio. The people of Pililla put their hands together in order to restore, fix, and beautify the church. The renovation of the roof started on December 26, 2006. Efforts in uniting the community of believers not only in Pililla Rizal but also those in other parts of the world, including the former parishioners and the church benefactors, were initiated through the parish website and other forms of technology. The Project 2010, which is the construction of the whole church area, was launched through the dynamic leadership of Father Tolentino, and a greater scope of work was already accomplished before the celebration of its 425th founding anniversary. Some of the major constructions done were the reconstruction of the bell tower and facade, constructions of church trusses and roofing, tiling of church floor, provision of cabinets for sacristy and hallway, construction of adoration chapel, repairs of convent, kitchen, offices, and veranda. During the celebration of the parish 425th founding anniversary, the church was so impressive. The inside and outside of the church was so beautiful and a joy to behold. She was like an elegant bride of Christ, ready to welcome guests and visitors coming from other parishes, including His Eminence Most Reverend Gaudencio Cardinal Rosales, D.D., then Archbishop of Manila, who presided over the Eucharistic celebration, together with Bishop Reyes and the clergy of Antipolo. Completion of Project 2010. A new pastor was assigned in Pililla in 2009, and other projects under Project 2010 were realized through the leadership of Reverend Father Jose Victor Nepomuceno. He completed the construction of the Parish Formation Center, which was started under Father Garganta, and it was blessed by Bishop Reyes. Other projects that came to completion were the renovation of the sacristy and a new parish hall on the second floor of the sacristy. Bishop Reyes blessed the sacristy and the new parish hall after the celebration of the Holy Eucharist. The blessings coincided with the celebration of the 430th year founding anniversary of the parish was held last July 22, 2013. Recent rehabilitation efforts were made under the tenure of Reverend Father Alfredo E. Meneses Jr. with the opening of the Divine Mercy Garden in honor of the parish's devotion to this image of Christ. The Well of Jacob, and the Museo de Santa Maria Magdalena, housing the parish's prized antique treasures, making it the first parish-based museum in the Diocese of Antipolo. On July 18, 2017, the parish was blessed to receive two relics, one from the bone and other from the cloth of Saint Mary Magdalene, from the tour of the Sacred Relics Apostolate under the office of the Vice Postular of the cause of canonization of Blessed Ivan Mers in the Philippines. The parish community, with festive joy and cheerful hearts, had a procession throughout the parish territory for the reception of the relic. With the separation of the parishes of San Gabriel Arcangel in Malaya in 1996 and San Diego de Alcala in Quezao in 2013, the parish is currently comprised of 5 barangays: Wawa, Bagumbayan, Hulo, Takungan, and Imatong. A Diocesan Shrine. With the tenure of Reverend Father Alfredo E. Meneses Jr. from 2017 to present, a number of major projects have been accomplished for the parish community. This came with much joy as the celebration of the memorial of Saint Mary Magdalene was elevated by Pope Francis through a decree of the Congregation for Divine Worship and Discipline of the Sacraments into a feast, and to call this disciple of our Lord as apostle to the apostles. Recognizing the enormous heritage of the parish, the Museo de Santa Maria Magdalena was formed and inaugurated on December 17, 2017, and was made open to the faithful on January 2018. Through this, locals and pilgrims alike were able to learn of the different circumstances of the history of the town of Pililla. The parish also formed its Cultural Heritage Committee, a special ministry that would take charge on the museum and its treasures. The parish also formed the Cofradia de Santa Maria Magdalena so that the devotion to Saint Mary Magdalene would be taken care of in the parish community and for further promotion outside of Pililla. Come 2018, with a large following of Catholic faithful from the Diocese of Antipolo and the neighboring provinces, the Bishop of Antipolo, His Excellency, Most Reverend Francisco M. de Leon, approved the request of the parish submitted on April 2018 to become a diocesan shrine. It is the first shrine in honor of Saint Mary Magdalene in the Philippines. The church was prepared and was formally dedicated on the 20th of July, 2018, and 2 days later, during the feast of Saint Mary Magdalene, the parish was formally elevated as a diocesan shrine. More programs and projects were established in order to accommodate more pilgrims over the years, such as the construction of the shrine souvenir shop, a grotto to Our Lady of Lourdes that holds a columbarium complex and a meditation garden, renovations in function halls, and a sacristy, among many others. In 2019, the Bishop of Antipolo also approved the holding of the Indakan, which is a cultural dance attuned to Saint Mary Magdalene's joy in the Gospel in proclaiming that she has seen the Lord, Vidi Dominum. The Pililla Catholic Church that you can see now was made of stone. These stones became the solid foundations of Christian faith in Pililla through the years. But a church is not just made of stones and structure. The important components of the church are the people with strong faith in God. The people of Pililla will remain strong in their faith and will continue to be vigilant in preserving and maintaining the church structure because they are proud of their beauty and majestic church that has been around for 438 years. Presently, the Church of St. Mary Magdalene is a cradle of tradition and faith, reflective of the profound belief in God that our ancestors have once expressed in their eagerness to place God's house in their midst. The age of our church shows the generosity of our ancestors who have chosen the best materials that have lasted through the ages. Despite major calamities and challenges that hit the Catholic Church during the past years, still, the Catholic Church stands tall and survived the test of time because of its strong foundation, which is deeply rooted in faith with Christ. Our great ancestors made sure that their great-grandchildren would also experience the legacy, not only the church structure itself, but more significantly, their love, trust, and oneness in faith in God through the guidance of St. Mary Magdalene, the mother and patroness of Pililla. To this, the faithful of Pililla owe all its gracious blessings to Almighty God through the loving intercession of St. Mary Magdalene, the mother and patroness of Pililla, Cristo et Ecclesia.